So this exhibition titled Terminal kind of focuses around the creation of almost a waiting space for the works to occupy. And upon initially visiting this space, I was struck by how kind of enclosed it feels, and it certainly reminded me of a kind of airport terminal or a baggage claim. Hi, my name is Jesse Stecklow. I'm an artist based in Los Angeles. My work revolves around the kind of collection of data and information and how that manifests through various sculptural forms. So this exhibition builds upon really 8 years of objects that I've been making. And certainly those objects all have a lot of sort of conceptual underpinnings and various forms of, if it's scientific analysis or other kind of embedded informational qualities. Visitors kind of approaching the space might be able to hear one of the first works, which is called a room box. And it's basically a small MDF box that's modeled after the shape of the gallery that rotates on the wall with a small ball inside. And so as that box moves, the ball rolls around and sort of traces a rhythm that is based on the shape of the gallery. So the idea is that at various intervals, sound is sort of triggered and visitors' attention is kind of drawn to that. And then the sound, once again, is used to kind of bring individuals deeper into the space. Most of the space is lit by what I like to call metronome lights. They're hanging from the ceiling and they're forms that oscillate between a warm and a cool bulb. And they're kind of always in a state of unrest. So in always moving between this warm and more domestic bulb and the cool and more traditional gallery space lighting, maybe perhaps the visitor is asked to sort of shed their fixed understandings of the conditions of the space and give over to this sort of ever-present unrest and oscillation and movement between conditions. This all kind of focuses around a body of work that started almost 10 years ago now, which is a process of installing air samplers in various objects that collect from the environment of the exhibition, after which the samplers leave the work and go to a lab to be analyzed for the various materials that were found within the space. So one of the really prominent outputs and things that I've been interested in for a while with the air sampling project is various compounds that I was finding in the airspace samples, mostly from the United States, that contained corn byproducts and other compounds related to the production of ethanol, alcohols, gasoline, and various kind of animal feeds and materials that are born from corn. So the corn is present in a number of works throughout the exhibition. In some cases, the corn is presented in a kind of straightforward capacity in this sort of humble corn cob, which conjures a more pastoral quality. In other cases, it's kind of extrapolated with various objects that are sort of born from the corn and kind of start to riff in the linguistics surrounding the corn in various ways. So you'll notice a lot of references to ears or ears of corn all the way to materially to eardrops that contain compounds that are born from that corn. But one of the things I'm interested in with this exhibition is just creating a sort of space that is perhaps out of time, out of the daily schedules of visitors, where people are invited to sort of visit and rest and sit within the space and kind of live within the sort of perhaps unique time zone created by the environment of this work.